Hey, this is my name is Mr. Mehta, and I'm here with Mrs. Spencer. Say hi, Mrs.
Hi.
Spencer. All right, so I'm going to do a lot of talking here. Mrs. Spencer's just going to listen to me, but she's going to talk a little bit. So we're here today to tell you guys, give you guys some tips and some final recommendations before we head off to Washington D.C. So, Mrs. Spencer, go ahead and tell them about number one.
Right, the first thing is what to wear. Definitely check the weather the week before we leave. Make sure you pack layers upon layers. It will get chilly at night and you'll want a sweatshirt or something to warm up with. Even hats and gloves are not uncommon. Make sure we follow school dress code, that we are wearing appropriate gear. No hats, ball caps are permitted. We will wear the shirts that we've bought for the trip on Thursday and Wednesday. So Thursday we're wearing blue, and Wednesday we will wear gray. So please make sure those shirts are packed in your
No, it's the
suits
other way
bag.
around. No, you're right.
I'm right.
Yeah,
Always right.
she's usually right. Same with last year. Mrs. Miller was always right. Rain gear. I always talk about like just a raincoat that they like a hood. You know, umbrellas are kind of bulky and getting away. So like a nice raincoat. If it looks like it might rain, I'd bring that just in case. Anything that the kids don't wear when we're traveling or touring around DC will be locked in the bus, and the bus driver stays with the bus. So that's good. No flip-flops. Definitely good pairs of tennis shoes. We told the kids today in the meeting to bring 2 pairs of shoes, especially if it might be wet. So 2 pairs of shoes. So just check the weather and our website. We'll update that as we think it's happening. So. So you said about the T-shirts.
Toiletries.
Toiletries. I'll tell you about toiletries. Okay. So obviously the hotel is nice enough. It's going to have those little things, but we want you guys to bring your soap, bring your deodorant. Huge on deodorant. So bring deodorant and bring what else? Toothbrushes. I don't need hair gel anymore. Whatever the kids use to do their do their thing, keep clean, and toothpaste, toothbrushes, all that stuff. Deodorant. Okay, so when we're traveling, guys, one of the things that we really don't want them carrying a lot. So we're going to talk about cameras here in a minute because they don't have their phones. So you want to get those old school, it's funny you say old school, but digital camera. But they're allowed to carry a cinch sack. So we can't take water. We can't take, a lot of that stuff will get confiscated when we go into each of the places. So you need to make sure that you have a little cinch sack with and if they do bring water bottles, you can leave it on the bus. So, and if you don't need that, so I guess the next thing is cameras. We'll talk about that now too. So if they're not going to have their phones. We collect their phones daily, and then they get them at the end of the night. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you want to bring the camera. You want to make sure that they have the extension cord for the camera. Make sure that they have an extra SD card because there's no computers that they're going to dump their footage on. So an old or disposable camera, that's really old school, but some people still bring it. The chaperones take a lot of pictures, and we'll be sharing that stuff out. So that's another way that the kids can get pictures of things too, is through their chaperones. So Mrs. Spencer.
Yeah, so cell phones. We will take cell phones about 90 minutes out of DC, and they will be in the chaperone's hands or in the bus until we get back on the bus for the evening headed to our hotel. So your kid will be able to call you as soon as we pass those cell phones back out, normally between 9:30, probably right
9 and 9:30, yeah.
They can call you. We'll let them have their phones until bedtime check-in, which their chaperone will go back up to their room, grab their phone. They will be taped into their room, and the chaperones will keep the phones overnight.
Boy, you said taped into their room,
Taped
Mrs.
into
Spencer.
their room. That sounds awful.
It sounds awful. It's one piece of tape about yo big.
Over the door.
Over the edge, yeah. And pretty much that is if kids are messing around or they come out of their room and that tape is removed, the night chaperone will ask them why it was removed, what were you trying to do, or see what's going on there. If they do that too much, they'll get in trouble. So that's just our little they get all freaked out about the piece of tape. It's a pice of masking
Scotch tape, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
Scotch tape. Some of the things that, a lot of questions we get on what can they do on the bus. And my advice is not to bring an iPad. I know that we're going to have we have the buses have movie stations on there so we can watch movies. Some of the old school stuff. What comes back out of the junk boxes is like your Nintendo DSs. So a lot of kids bring their Nintendo DSs, playing cards. It's pretty funny to look at this and say magazines and books, handheld electronics. They'll be using these things when we drive to Washington and back, but not when we're touring. When we tour, our hotel's pretty close, so we get there pretty quickly. And a lot of the stuff we put, and we posted this information online, it pretty much says that we're not responsible for the stuff that the kids bring. So they need to take care of it and be responsible for it in the room and when they have it on the bus.
And that goes for the cameras too. If they're carrying cameras with them and they forget them at a stop, we can't go back and get them. So just making sure they're responsible with
We did have a kid leave an iPad after we told him not to bring the iPad. He left it somewhere in D.C. and it was gone. So the snacks, a lot of people are asking us about snacks, and a lot of kids bring obviously you want to try to stay healthy, fruits and dried fruits. I guess you could say vegetables. There's chips and candy. Everybody brings that stuff. If you don't want that on the bus on the drive down, put it on in your luggage, and then the kids can organize all that in their hotel room when we check in that first night. But whatever they do bring on their carry-on, you want to help them out. Tell them that they shouldn't eat everything before we get to 270. They're very excited, and it's really funny to watch them chow down on a giant bag of Doritos at 6 a.m. I know. So the nut-free buses are buses 1 and 2. So if your child is in a group that doesn't have a nut allergy, we had to put some on there. They can bring nut snacks in their big luggage. Just have them open it in their room. They just can't have it on the bus ride down because of the nut allergies. So, spending money, Hillary.
Good.
Mrs. Spencer.
My recommendation is $75 to $100 at max to send for extra money. Those of you who have growing boys, they may want more than what we allow or we allot for meals. So we normally give them about $10 to go into a food court to spend on dinner. They may want more than that. So maybe send an extra 5 to 10 per day, and then they may want some souvenirs of some sort.
Yeah, the way the lunch goes is when we go the Pentagon Mall, the company gives every kid a $10 bill, and if they spend more than that, they have to use their own money. If they don't spend all of that, they get to pocket it. So a lot of kids like to use Starbucks and stuff. And we can talk about that too if your kid loves Starbucks or any kind of those coffee milk drinks. Those are not allowed on the bus. So if they get Starbucks, they have to drink it before we get on the bus. We talked to the kids today about behavior. That's one of the big things. We talked about being above the line and having a high expectation on behavior. Cleaning up after they eat at dinner time and in the malls and in the food courts, staying with a partner the whole time, not wandering around by themselves, staying with their groups and making sure they're checking in at the right times. All of these things, if they don't follow them, what we do is we take minutes away from the dance on Thursday night. That's the big final exciting, fun activity we do on Thursday night. So we're really, really expecting above the line behavior, high expectations on that. So keeping the bus clean. We're going to have garbage bags, and Mrs. Spencer's gone to Costco already and bought 14 cases of water. So we're putting a bunch of water on every bus, and we're going to have everything that we've told you guys before to take care of your kids and us as we travel. So when we talk about suitcases and stuff.
Yeah, so you can bring one carry-on sized suitcase on Sunday when you check your kids' luggage in with us, and then one backpack or bag that will fit in an overhead for the ride there. And then you may want to throw that little cinch sack in that backpack so that they have that for our day of touring on Monday.
So both bags will be checked.
Yeah.
Your big luggage we're going to check for. We're going to make sure there's no energy drinks and stuff like that. we're looking for the 2 T-shirts that the kids need to have, rain gear, shoes, the toiletries, you know, making sure that everything's packed. Moms and dads are really great about helping us out with that on Sunday. Monday, when you come, you don't need to walk your child in. We'd advise you not to because it's kind of crazy. I understand some of you will. But on Monday morning, 5:30, just drop your kid off, give them a hug, say you'll talk to them that night. And when they come in, we're going to check their carry-on. So we want to, and you can't bring big pillows and big blankets on your carry-on. You want to bring your own pillow or blanket that goes in underneath. You can do a travel pillow or a smaller blanket that can fit on your carry-on luggage. So other than that, anybody, when you guys watch this, if you have any questions, please email us. I've really enjoyed all the emails I've received. Other than paying a couple bills, I think we're ready to go. So I'm ready to get on that bus on Sunday or Monday morning. Remember, Monday morning, 5:30. Get there. The chaperone should be there. Your kid will come to the gym where you dropped off your luggage and stay with your chaperone until the buses head out, and then we'll be ready to go. So other than that, that's it.
We're good.
That's it. So drop us a line if you need us, and
enjoy your week off.
yeah, enjoy the week. Well,
no homework.
We will keep, and we'll have all kinds of all the Twitters and all the. I don't know if I'm using Periscope or Facebook Live, so look for that on our website. We'll let you know what we're doing. Okay. All right. See you later. Bye.